it's live.
Hello, everyone. I am Becky from Sewing Stitches, and with me I have
Tracy, your Studio 180 certified instructor.
And we have our friend Michelle on with us. Michelle, are you in the green room or are you with us already? I think you're with us.
I'm not sure. I can see myself.
Can you see us?
I can see you.
Okay, I think that you are with us. I'm going to see if it's live. Give me just a second. It's
posted. It says you're in the show, so I think
you are in the show. So okay,
you are in the show.
Okay, yep, you are. So
oh my goodness, okay, we're really live.
We are really live.
This is really working today.
This is new for me too.
Well, because nothing technology related ever works right for me. So let me go over. I'm going to go to comments. All right, friends. So today we are using a platform called StreamYard. I think that you may have to give access if you would like to post questions. But more importantly, today we are here with Michelle Lapham. I had to ask her how to pronounce her name. And she's like, Lapham. I'm like, yeah, it's just like slap 'em without the S. There you go.
Don't slap me.
I'm not gonna
you
slap
wanted
you.
to slap me.
I did. All right. So we are very excited to bring Michelle on because we are planning a wild adventure Alaskan cruise for August 2025. And we would love for you to join us. Now, some people have never cruised before, so I thought that it would be very important for us to meet with Michelle, and so we could go over some questions. So I'm going to start first of all with Michelle.
Okay,
well,
so
hold on.
I gotta
Tracy
say
wants
something.
to talk.
I have to say something first. So if you guys are joining us, make sure that you comment so that we know you're here. Okay. Because we want to know that you're watching us, that you see that the three of us are on here together, you know, that.
Oh, good idea.
Does that make sense?
It's a very good idea.
So like I went in and said hi, so you guys know I'm there. Michelle, can you see the comments?
No, I cannot.
Okay, so only I can see the comments, and that's fine. So we'll make sure if we have any questions, we will ask them for you. All right. Also, if you would like to share this would be a great opportunity to share this, especially if you have friends who, number one, would love to go on a quilting cruise with us. Or number two, even if they're just interested in a cruise, this is going to be some really good information. I actually took my very first cruise with Michelle, and I will tell you, I had no idea what was going on, but she made the process very, very simple for me. And so I think it's important, Michelle, if we talk about what exactly goes on a cruise. So let's start there.
Okay. So on a cruise, typically, it's basically a floating hotel. So most people think about the ports that they're going to visit, but really you don't ever have to get off the ship to have an amazing vacation, because everything on board is like you're at a resort. So they have activities going on. They have shows in the evenings. They have music playing everywhere. They have DJs. They have karaoke, tons of activities, tons of fun stuff. They have a pool. They have a hot tub. They have a library if you just want to go somewhere to, for peace and quiet. They have a coffee shop. I mean, literally, you don't ever have to leave the ship. I don't recommend that, because why'd you take a cruise if you weren't going to go somewhere? But the ship itself is really just a floating hotel. And some people refer it to as a floating city, because it has everything. You have all your meals provided, your entertainment. So that's a typical cruise. On a quilting cruise is a little bit different. Do you want me to talk about that now, or wait?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay. So on the quilting cruises, let me step back for a second. When I first started doing quilting cruises, I'll give you my little short story.
Yes.
I never in the wildest imagination thought I would ever do quilting cruises. My mother came to me one day and said, "Hey, I want to do a quilting cruise." And I looked at her like she was insane. And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, if you put it together, I'll manage the travel." So we sold it out in a month. So Then we had people waiting. So I said, well, let's just do another one. So we booked another one and we sold that one out. So my light bulb went on and I said, okay, there's something here. So we started doing quilting cruises. Well, I started doing them. She was helping me. And I think the first year I did 2. The next year I did maybe 3. And now I do 7, 8 a year. And so it's really grown. And that was back in 2010. So I've been doing it a long time. In the process of trying to figure out how I wanted to do these, I wanted to be different than anybody else. And so I looked out there at what was going on. Most of the quilting cruise companies had 4, 5, 6 teachers. They would have class, maybe a morning with one teacher, a morning with another teacher, an afternoon. Not everybody fit in every class, so they had to pick their classes. And I just didn't want that. They'd have 80 to 100 people. I wanted it to be different. So I started thinking about how could I make it more intimate, more of a boutique feel, so you really aren't a number. And so I have one teacher, in this instance 2, a teacher and a helper, maybe, I'm not sure. And I maximum amount of people at 40. So everybody is in the classroom at the same time, working on the project for the whole week. So we do our quilting classes while we're out at sea. So generally from about 9 a.m. till around 3:30, we do a break for lunch, we have a break for dinner, and then we have open sewing in the evenings. And every cruise is different because it depends on the itinerary. We may have open sewing in the mornings instead of the evening, but we work that out. You sew pretty much almost every day. So, okay. And you still have time to go out and explore and do your tours and all of that. So,
okay, I have a question.
Yeah, I have a comment first.
Okay.
First of all, I think, Michelle, this is why you and I relate so well together, because we're all about the small group, the intimacy, and really getting to know people. Right. We're people. Yeah. Quilting is just the medium for us to make new friends.
Exactly. That's why I do it. And that's why I do what I do, is because I get to travel all over and meet wonderful shop owners.
Right.
And so, and then I get to teach as well. So my question is, do they get to bring a project or something of their own that they'd like to work on in free time?
Yes. In fact, yes. In fact, I have had a few people who brought so many projects. They went home with 3 or 4 different finished projects. Good. So they only sewed the project being offered during the day. And then in the evenings, they only worked on their UFOs. And so they went home with a bunch of stuff that was finished. So.
Perfect. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I applaud those people because they finished something. That's amazing.
I know.
Okay. So you talked about ports and excursions and things like that. Now, when we are stopping at a few different ports, Tracy's been to Alaska. I have never been to Alaska. And she says these are like the best ports in Alaska, that she loves these ones. And that's probably why you did this particular cruise, is love where we're going. Yeah. So excursions. So if people want to do excursions and stuff like that, it is an added cost depending on what type of excursions. And will people be able to book that through you? Because I want this to be a great time for everyone. And I want to make sure that it's easy. Because I remember when I cruised with you, you did everything. I just showed up and was cute. So, and I like traveling. Yes, always. That's how I do everything. I show up and I'm cute.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah. So I try to handle as much as people want me to handle for them. I have a series of emails that I send out from the time we get the group booked up until we sail. And every one of those has a little bit of information. Instead of throwing a book at you, I give you a little bit at a time. So one of those emails will be hotels that you can book the night before, or 2 or 3 days if you want to come in early or after. One of those will be excursions that I recommend in each of the ports. There's others that are like packing tips and just general travel tips and different things like that. But I try to handle as much as you'll want me to. Some people are more independent and don't want any help, and some would rather. I will tell you that a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot of people, some people are always scared of booking outside of ship tours because, the ship scares you into, if you miss the ship, then you're on your own. These tour companies are the same people doing the ship tours, but they are doing them in smaller groups through the companies that I use. And so and that's their bread and butter. So they're not going to miss the ship. They know when the ship comes in, they know when it leaves, and they're very careful. But the nice thing about it is they're less expensive. They have less people. I think their maximum is 30 in a group.
Okay.
Sometimes you only have 10, which is nice. And they're usually a little more personalized. So you might stop somewhere where the ship isn't going to because they have 80 people or 100 people. Right. So I recommend everything, and then you just let me know what you want, and I set it up for you.
Okay. Perfect. And you've been on, and I think it's important that people know that this is your job. It's not your side hustle.
Right.
This is, you spend a lot of time on different cruise ships, and you spend a lot of time exploring and going out on these different excursions. So you know exactly how people are going to be number one treated and what they're going to get. So
right.
we do have a question. So Corinne would like to know that since Alaska Cruise is not specifically out on the ocean, if you are sewing all day, do you miss the glaciers, the scenery, and the banks?
Well, this is a good note. It used to be that when we would go into Glacier Bay, we would sew part of the day and then explore watch the scenery go by. But now Alaska has made a rule that no one is allowed to have any activities going on during the day we're in Glacier Bay. So you'll just have to go out there and see it all day long. But no, it doesn't conflict at all. And drink cocoa and green pea soup. Remember that. That's Holland America.
Well,
not everybody likes it, but some people do.
Hard pass. Green peas. The only way I like green peas is always good. Out of the pods from the garden.
I will say the food on Holland America, because we're going on Holland America, is really, really good. So you will love it. But yeah,
I love the intimacy too on Holland America. Like I've cruised on Royal and other ships, and I love the intimacy that you feel on Holland America.
It's just a quieter, more calming, relaxing cruise line.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of children. You might see a few, but there's not all the bells and whistles and hustle bustle like there is on the bigger mega ships.
Correct.
So it's really just a more relaxed cruise.
Okay. Well, that's always nice.
I hope that answered Corinne's question.
I think you did. I think
yes,
that you did.
Okay.
So we are cruising on Holland America. It is a 7-day cruise.
Correct.
We are stopping at 3 different ports, right?
We're stopping at 4.
4 ports.
Nope, 5. Sorry, 5.
Wow, 5. So there are a lot of stops. And I know, and let's talk about the logistics for actually sewing. Like, this is the thing that excites me. I don't have to pack up a sewing machine, and everything's provided. Your fabric kit is going to be provided. Your fabric cut will be subcut into the smallest sewing pieces we can get to make life as easy on you as possible. So, my ladies are going to love us in the shop. That's okay.
But our students are going to love us even more.
But with that being said, your fabric will be sized first before we do the cutting, and then it will be packaged and labeled for the easiest sewing that we can do while we are on the ship. Michelle is actually in charge of getting us our sewing machines and thread. So why don't you tell us about that a little bit, Michelle?
So we try to provide as much as we can. We want everyone to come feeling like they don't have to bring too much. Usually it's basic sewing supplies. You might have a ruler or a certain type of tool that you recommend to them that you want them to bring, and you'll give us a supply list when we get closer. But typically it is your basic sewing things. We provide ironing stations. Okay, nobody can bring an iron. I'm just going to say that again. No one is allowed to bring an iron. They will confiscate your irons. That is a safety hazard on a ship. However, because we do quilting groups and I've worked for 14 years building this, they know me. We are allowed to bring 4 irons. And so those will be shared. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but we take turns. We learn how to share, just like kindergarten. It's true. We have 4 ironing stations. We have about 8 cutting stations that I provide, and those are shared. You will want to bring a small cutting mat just for your station so you can trim and things like that. The machines are all provided. I bring the guy that, well, he brings the machines, but I bring him with me. And he manages everything. So if you need a bobbin, just raise your hand or yell out his name. He'll come and bring you a bobbin. If your needle comes unthreaded or your needle breaks or something, he's right there. In fact, a lot of times he will be there before you even call him because he heard it. So he's been doing this since he was old enough to walk. It's a family business passed down from his grandfather to his father to him. So,
Awesome.
So he's been doing it a long time. So he knows every machine. He knows them up and down, upside down, backwards. So he's going to be there with us to make sure that everything runs smoothly. On that note, the very first night he does a make and take project. So everybody will come in there and you'll get to make the project. You'll learn more about the machine, get to play with it a little bit and get comfortable with it. So by the end of the week, you won't even have to think about it. It'll be easy.
Good. I really appreciate that he's taking the time to show the sewers how the machine works with a project that they get to make, but it's not on their fabric kit because a lot of people are afraid, when you're walking into a new machine that you're not used to and sewing on the fabric, it's a little stressful. So
yeah. You can make all your mistakes the first night.
Yes,
that's
perfect.
awesome.
I think that's
a great idea.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, and then I have to tell you something else that Michelle told me that sold me.
What'd you tell her, Michelle?
Now I'm scared.
Cookies.
Oh, cookies. Yes, we get cookies every day. That's true for Becky and I.
Yes. So there's a lot of, and I will just say I have traveled on other quilting cruises, not as a guest, but as a spy, not really. When the sewing guy goes, I sometimes tag along. And so the sewing machine guy. And so I've seen some of them don't have anything in the room the whole day and everybody has to leave to go get a drink of water, leave to go get a Coke, whatever. So, I don't want to be that way. So we will have danishes in the mornings there's coffee set up, hot water, tea, ice water, and then we switch them out for cookies in the afternoon. So
awesome. My mom just said
it's all about the food.
It's true. There may be some surprise little cookie or candies that show up too. I don't know, maybe.
Right. Well, and here's the thing, because Sew and Stitches gets to be the sponsor shop. So it'll have, my personal touch too. So you can expect chocolate from me.
Well, and
Tracy's the teacher.
And the teacher also likes to add the dessert to the meat and potatoes. So
nice.
So it'll definitely be a fun event.
Right.
Good.
Okay. So my next thing, because this is what people are hesitant about, and that's the cost. And I think like my first cruise, I didn't, you see the price on the website and that's like the base price. It's like flying on the discount airlines.
We were just talking about this yesterday.
$59, fly anywhere. But, you want to choose your seat? Oh, that's $100. Oh, you weigh 150 pounds. We're going to charge you $150 because that's how much you weigh. Or
you want to use the bathroom? You need coins to put in the door.
So when we see the base price, that's not the actual cost of the cruise. So will you explain to people, especially people that have never been on a cruise, but more importantly about our cruise, about how everything works?
Okay. So when you go to the cruise line, this is the same if you go to a hotel chain, anywhere you go. The price they're going to show you at the beginning is the rock bottom price that you can get. Once you get in there, then you start realizing that's not really the price, or maybe you don't want that price because of where it's at. So if you were to go online and book, just grab a cruise line and you say, I want the cheapest room. So they're going to give you an inside room. You're going to be either the very back or the very front of the ship where you feel the most movement. You're going to get jolted awake in the morning because when they, crank the engines up or throw the anchor or whatever, you're going to hear that. It's not going to generally include your taxes. There's port charges. There's a bunch of extras that they add on there. That isn't added on until the end usually. And so you don't get that, your $700 turns into $1,500 and you're like, wait, how did that happen?
Right. And I already spent all my money at the casino.
There you go.
Oh, and you have to scan your card to get off the ship. So if you don't pay your bill, they won't let you off.
That's true. My husband's always like worried. I just don't want to get that ding. I'm like, it's never going to happen. It'll be fine. But so the way that we do it is you can't really compare our pricing to theirs because, first of all, I don't pick the cheapest rooms. So I will, let me go back. So the other thing that lately the cruise lines have started doing is non-refundable rates. Those are also going to be the least expensive, but you're taking a big risk there because if you did have to cancel, your deposit is non-refundable. If you need to maybe make a change, like you can't do that cruise and you have to go another time, then they're going to charge you a change fee. So in the end, you're going to lose all of that money. So it's best to not do non-refundable. I generally don't do that for any of my clients unless they demand it. And then I try and talk them out of it. And then if they still want it, I'll give it to them. But so when we book when I book my groups, I will set it up with better like located rooms. So more in the middle of the ship, closer to the classroom. So you don't have as far to go every morning or every day. I include all of those extras. So all of those port charges, the taxes. On this cruise, I can't include the gratuity because they don't have that option. Okay, you can prepay that, but it's a weird way they do it. They just tell you to put money on your account and then they deduct it as you go. So to me, that is kind of not really prepaying them because you might use that for drinks and then you're still going to get charged. So on top of that, we include your class fees. Your kit is included in that. You know, all of that is included. Now, there is one other option, and the Have It All promotion is something that the cruise line has been offering for a little while, and it's really a great value. It does add on to your price. And so what I do is when you book, I will send you that price included with the Have It All. If you decide you don't want it, then we can take it off. But both people in the room either have to have it or don't have it. But what that includes is you get a free beverage package. So you can get pretty much any kind of drink you want, alcoholic, non-alcoholic, smoothies, mocktails, specialty coffees, specialty hot chocolates, things like that. You also get free specialty dining for one night. That's about $40 to $50 per person to go to like a steakhouse, or they have a Asian fusion, or there's an Italian. You get, and your prepaid gratuities are also included in that. Okay. So if you do the Have It All, then that's paid for. So you don't have to worry about that. And I believe they do a credit for a shore excursion. I think it's like $50 or something. So you could use that if you wanted to. But all of that, I will automatically add on to your booking when I send you your invoice. Okay. If you decide you don't want that, you can let me know. But that will add on a you to your price. Okay. So.
All right. But it's a really good value. And I think that's important for people to understand as well that, you know, my attitude is when we vacation, we go big or go home. Here's the okay. So I've heard stories, you know, people telling me this, oh my gosh, we spent all of this money on a cruise and we sat in our room and we were eating like chips and cheese and crackers and stuff because we couldn't afford to eat on the cruise. It's like, no, your food, everything's included. Go eat and have a great time.
Well, that was either they didn't use a travel agent that they knew what they were doing, or they didn't use a travel agent and they didn't do their homework. So, but by the time, like I said, you should be very well prepared. Some people refer to the emails that I send out as cruising for dummies. So not calling anyone a dummy, but it does. I try to give you as much information as I can to help.
Correct. That's great. Okay. So I have another question because it has been, you know, people have been asking me questions and I'm like, I'm the cruising for dummies here. It's like, here's the thing.
I don't think your book would even help her.
No, well, here's the thing.
She'll be a pro by the time I'm done.
Cruises, one with Michelle and one with Tracy. Guess who did all of the work? Michelle and Tracy, not me. So
she just
showed up. And like I said, I was just cute. That's what I do.
There you go.
But this time I'll be teaching. So I'm going to have to be prepared to do that.
Right.
So I'll be, and I do okay with that. Teaching's my thing. You know, booking things and logistics, not my thing. So I leave it up to the professionals.
Well, that's a good idea.
I agree. Okay. So I do have people that say that, you know, sometimes they get motion sickness. So would you be able to help coach them on places in like where the best place on the ship to put your room and help them through those things?
Yeah. And actually on the registration form at the bottom, it says, do you have any special needs or requests?
Okay.
So that would be a good place to put that.
Okay.
If you're prone to motion sickness, there's a couple of things. Go to your doctor and get the patch before you come. It is a prescription, so you have to go ahead of time. Some people do well with the C-bands. Some people, just there's lots of different things out there. I do have ginger candies on board, so you can suck on those if you are starting to feel a little nauseous. We also can get meclizine, which is like Bonine, but doesn't make you drowsy. Being in the middle of the ship and low is the best place to be. I will be honest, the first day out from Seattle, I would say the second day, because the first day is in the evening. The second day we're out in open water, and that's where the cold water and the warm water from like Hawaii are crashing into each other. So you can get a little bit more action out there. So, just come prepared. Green apples are really good. So if it gets rough out there, then we always tell people, go get some green apples, put them in your room. I've done this a long time, so I have all the tips, but I even know where the doctor is if you're really sick and you need to go down and get a shot in the butt to help you feel better.
Okay, that sounds great. That sounds great.
That's good to know. And another thing that you told me that I'm very excited about is that the room that we're going to be sewing in actually has windows.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I forgot
because our
about
last
that.
sewing cruise, we were in the belly of the ship. There were no windows. So
yeah, not all ships have that. So this one's nice. And the deck is right outside. So if you do want to go outside and get some fresh air, you just walk down the hall and you're outside. So I think there's 3 big picture windows. So
that's awesome.
And like I told you, we will be the goldfish in the bowl. Everybody looks in to wonder what the heck are we doing in there?
Well, having a good time.
That's what we do. Okay. So,
and learning. We'll be learning.
Yeah, we are going to be learning. Okay, so let's talk about learning.
Okay, let's talk about learning.
Okay, the quilt. We're going to be making a quilt.
We are going to be making a quilt.
Okay, I'm designing it. It is going to be exclusive.
Where?
It takes a village.
We're designing it.
So, it is in progress of being designed. Here are my hangups. Okay, so let me tell you what the plan is. So Tracy, Esther, and I have been going back and forth. We have kind of an idea of what we want to teach. We want to make sure that it's something that is new to people that they haven't done before. Number one, because we want you to learn something new. Number 2 is it needs to be challenging enough that people won't get bored with us. And
but achievable.
Yeah, we want everyone to be successful.
Exactly. We want everyone to be successful.
And it'll be about a twin size, probably a good size lap quilt, like 70 by 80-ish. But we also understand that does not fit everyone's needs, that some people, they only make queen size quilts. So it has to be a quilt also that if you choose, you can expand. So be watching.
I can tell you that it is going to be an exclusive quilt for this cruise. So it's not going to be something that you can go get off of any other quilt shop or anything like that. It is going to be exclusive to this cruise.
And I won't sell it for at least 2 years.
Okay.
I won't publish it for at least 2 years. Hey, if it's a good one and you guys love it, come on. Oh, girl, I'm funding my retirement. So Barbara Ann asks, what deck is the sewing room on? And is it forward or aft?
It's forward and it's on deck 2.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that a good place to be, Barbara? Michelle, is it a good place to be?
It is. Yeah.
So you have sailed on this ship.
Yes. Multiple times.
Multiple. And you've done the sewing cruises on it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, good. All
so
right.
For you casino people, the casino is right upstairs. So when class is over, you don't have far to go.
Okay.
Don't tell my husband that.
He'll find it. Trust me.
Can I tell a secret on us, Michelle?
Sure.
So, okay. Well, Michelle does not gamble. The only time she
do now
is when she's on a cruise.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, she only goes when she's on a cruise. And the way that she told me is, some people go to the movie for entertainment. I go to the casino. Instead of taking $40 to the movie theater, I take $40 to the casino. And that's what I play with. And I think, you know what? I don't like movies anyway, so that's a good idea. So I went and I played blackjack with Michelle for the very first time. And I took $20 to the table and I walked away with $200. Just saying.
Oh,
it was really
well,
fun.
okay. So my first cruise that I ever went on was to Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And we were playing, they were doing bingo. Holland America was doing bingo. And you had to pay $20 to get a bingo ticket, right? Uh-huh. And I'm like, Todd, give me $20. He goes, I'm not wasting $20. I'm like, just give me $20. Let me play bingo. And he argued with me. And I'm like, dude, just give me $20. And so he finally gave it to me. And I won bingo after the 6th number was called and won $500. Okay. So I go to give him back his $20, right? Because I wanted to pay him back. And he goes, oh, no. I have my eye on a set of binoculars. So yeah. Okay.
So can I just add one thing? You brought up binoculars. If you do have some, bring them with you. Because when we're growing through Glacier Bay, that's when you're looking for wildlife.
Well, and that's where he spotted his bear.
There you go.
Look. And people will tell you, they'll say it's right over there. It's right over there. And you can't see it with the naked eye.
No, they're too small.
You have binoculars, bring them. Okay. So Corinne, the excursions are not included in the Have It All.
They are not.
And Corinne loves bingo. Well, we're going to have to check that out, Corinne.
Oh, yes. We have fun with bingo.
Yes. I have good stories about bingo. Some are inappropriate though.
Yes. It'll have to be in the group room. Yes. Not out on video for everybody to see. Becky, there's some things that just can't be shared.
I know, but it is good.
And Michelle, you know that about Becky.
Well, I'm just sitting here being quiet.
So okay, so do you have any questions for us? Michelle, do you think we covered everything for everyone?
The only thing I was going to mention is that we didn't talk about the ports. All of the Alaska ports have a quilt shop in port. And what I do is they know that we're coming. I give them a heads up that we're coming. They will either have a gift, like a gift baggie or a discount or something that they do for each of the quilters. You just have to bring your name tag that you'll have from me, and they'll honor that. And I'll give you like a flyer and tell you where it's at and all of that. So just plan on that. That's for the Alaska ports. Well, I'd say 3 of the Alaska ports. Icy Strait doesn't have one. It's very small, but Victoria does have one, but it's not anywhere close by. And we get there in the evening, so you wouldn't be able to see that one, but I try and cover that for you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyone that's listening on Facebook, do you have any questions that we may or may not have covered?
What's the link for them to sign up?
Oh my gosh, I forgot to.
Michelle, how do they sign up?
Okay, wait. I'm going to find it. I'm going to get it.
Becky's prepared.
No, not really. I was going to do a bit with
It's okay. I'll say this. When you register, each person has to register separately.
Okay.
So make sure that if you are bringing a spouse, a daughter, or son, whatever, that each of you registers. I get a lot of times one registration and nobody else. They put the roommate name down, but I don't get the roommate's registration. So make sure that both of you register. Right. I can't complete the booking until I have both names. So
and that's another thing too. If you are bringing a friend that doesn't sew, guess what? That is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I heard from Michelle. This is what I heard from Michelle. And we all hear things different, right? I heard that even if they don't sew, they get to come to the welcome party
and all of our activities. When they
welcome party, the farewell party, they get to come have dinner with us in the evening. They can stop in. They can stop in for a cookie, and they get a discounted price because they're not sewing.
Okay. So so if you have a significant other and you've always wanted to go to Alaska and it's on your bucket list and you love to sew and they don't, There's plenty of things to do on board. I know I'm taking my significant other, Tracy's,
and I'm taking mine.
So, there'll be some guys to hang out with. Y'all can people watch, or I don't know.
Do what you do.
I don't know what
we're going to be sewing.
We're going to be sewing and having a good time.
You can meet him at 4:00 trivia. It's happy hour.
Wait, I want a lot of trivia. I love trivia.
Yeah. I'm already spoken for Becky to be on my team.
Okay.
So
the only other thing is to register. So do you need the website for that?
No,
I put it in the notes.
Okay.
It is quiltingadventurespro.com/wild, because we're going to go see wildlife. It's not because we're wild per se.
Well, we're going to have a wild time.
We're going to have a wildly great time.
The link that was posted will tell us about the cruise. Yes. What did Mom say? Becky's team.
Mom wants to be on my team too.
Mom wants to be on Becky. I'm sure everybody will be standing in line. Whatever. I mean, if you had to put me as a team captain and her as a team captain, I'd be the one going, please pick me. Please pick me. And everybody'd go, I pick Becky. I pick Becky.
You know what? We all have our strengths.
That's right.
We all have our strengths, remember. You're the fun one. I'm the logical one.
We'll go with that.
We'll have a good time.
We are going to have a great time. So
what I would say is if anyone has any other questions, they can email me. My email is on the website, or they can call me. That's on there too.
Your number's on there. You can even text her. She does text.
You can text me as well, the same phone number. So I'm here to help with any questions and help with everything else.
All right. Are people not watching going to be able to watch this later? I hope so.
We hope so, yes.
So
yes. Happy hour piqued his interest.
That's awesome. Corinne's husband is going. He's going to go.
Like, I'm bringing.
Corinne's already registered.
Did they already register?
Corinne is registered. Yes.
Awesome. Good job. So it'll be a good time. We're
going to have a great time.
Okay.
We're excited to do this. And thank you, Michelle, for the opportunity. Thank you for reaching out and asking us to do this.
And thanks for coming on tonight and answering questions. I think that's very helpful for people to understand the big picture, because there's a lot of things that people, if you've never done this before, you don't know what you don't know. So you don't even know what questions to ask. And
that's
so
true.
Having a professional like Michelle, who's number one, cruised all over the world. She's booked cruises. She's booked the sewing cruises. She's worked with Scott with the sewing machine aspect of it. So she's done all of this. And like I said, she's been doing this for years. She's experienced. She knows what the heck she's doing.
I want to be like Michelle when I grow up.
Yes. Me too.
I'm like, Becky, maybe we should give up our day jobs and do what Michelle's doing.
No, then we wouldn't have anything to sew.
Oh, I can still design.
Yeah, we can still do
it.
Okay. Well, you're welcome, Barbara Ann.
Thank you, Barbara Ann,
being here. So, all right. Well, thanks for taking the time with us, Michelle. Again, if you guys have any questions. Oh, Judith, yes.
Oh,
it
single
is
occupancy.
Yes.
Is it possible?
Good question. It is. There is single occupancy. However, the pricing is more because the cruise lines all set their rooms for double occupancy. So if she contacts me, I can give her the options of what her pricing would look like.
And Judith, and if you need a roommate as well, and we have other people that need roommates, what Michelle will do is she'll swap information so you can talk to each other to see if you're a good match. She's not going to throw you in a room with some perfect stranger. Okay.
Right.
But you never know.
Won't be stuck rooming with Becky or I.
And I'm going to tell you a story about roommates. So when we do our when we do our retreats, we had one lady that wanted a single occupancy room. And so Tracy and I gave up our room so she could be single occupancy. She was going to cancel, but we have such a good time. And she came she met new friends, came back and said, I want a room with Melanie. And so she comes back on all of our retreats and she comes from Oregon to room with Melanie. And
And
she
now-
even comes and stays with Melanie to come do small little classes at our shop.
Yeah.
Because you never know what type of friendships you're going to form with quilters. So,
Right.
Well, and I feel like sometimes you form those lifelong ones.
yes.
I mean, yeah, I honestly, I think some of my best friends I've met through the quilting world.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
All right. Well,
All righty,
thanks again,
Michelle.
friends.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
we'll
you,
see you soon.
guys.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.